Good morning, church family. I want to talk to you today about the readings from the fourth week of Lent, and wanted to share this beautiful sunrise this morning with you, where I've placed myself here under the American flag and in this most glorious setting that God has given us and is calling to us in the beauty and grandeur of nature. Today's first reading talks about the nation of Israel, who has walked away from, has turned their backs to the truths that God has called them to live in and to form their nation under. Today's gospel reading, Jesus speaks of in the most popular passage of the Bible, John 3:16, where when Nicodemus asks what he's there for, he says that he's there not to condemn the world, but to bring us sinners, to offer us a way in order to share in eternal life. Leads me to where we are as a nation today. And truly, it's been this way since the beginning of our nation, where our founders did set their faces straight towards that eternal truth that God offers us in order to form our consciences and form our laws in. I had a patient who once asked me, or actually said to me, what idiot thinks that faithfulness and religion has anything to do with politics? And as I looked at my 15-blade knife as I was caring for this patient, I looked up at him and I said, well, your doctor's an idiot. And he said, really? And I explained to him. I said, well, yes, because there's two types of people, I told him. I said, there's a person like myself who believes that the truth has always been, it is now, and it always will be. And the closer that we align our actions, the closer that a nation or a population aligns their laws with that eternal truth, the more success we're going to find as individuals, as families, as communities, and as a nation. And then I said there's another type of person, who believes that that truth changes as time goes along, and therefore it's reasonable that we must change our laws and our rules and the way that we live to reflect those new truths based on popular opinion in the culture of that day. I told him I'm the first. And I told him that I think there's quite a bit of evidence to show that these truths, they don't change. There are best practices. I want to encourage anyone, be it a Catholic Christian, a Christian, any person of goodwill, give consideration to the way that we're led by our bishops of the United States Council of Catholic Bishops, who in November of 2023 released a letter entitled Forming Consciences for Faithful Citizenship. They lay out, in order of preeminence, the issues that we must stand firmly for, or the laws that we must stand firmly against for the health of our families, of us as individuals. Socrates and Plato pointed out without religion as their guide, that the health of a family is the foundation and core of the health of a society. And that brings me to another patient. During the COVID times, which we can certainly remember at this point in 2024, I had a patient who knew my foundation and my effort to walk in the way that God calls us to, and my joy in sharing that. And they asked me, they said, "Doc, do you think God is punishing us with COVID?" And I looked at them and I said, "No, I think we're punishing ourselves. Because in today's gospel, Jesus says that he did not come into the world to condemn the world, but he did certainly come to insist that we not walk in darkness, that we walk in the light." So, family, I encourage you to give consideration where your foundation is in finding truth and then applying it in our own lives for our family, and then encouraging our neighbors in our country. Please be sure that there's no one political party out there that has their conscience formed in the way that the church encourages us to form our conscience. We have a lot of work to do, including inviting and welcoming of immigrants that want to be here, knowing who's here, how many people are here, so that we can help them properly. Taking care of our environment is a moral issue, but when you look to the way the bishops are leading us, and I'm extremely confident God is leading them to encourage us to put at the very forefront the health of the family, the protection of the unborn. As Mother Teresa said, what poverty of a nation that it would choose to kill its own children so that it could live the way that they want to live. God bless us in this Lenten season, and may we continue with excitement and joy to look forward to Easter, which is coming.